Hello, my name is Harren Burry from the University Hospital of Geneva in Switzerland, and I'll be showing you a live in the box case of left bundle branch area pacing implantation using a stylet-driven lead. This is the case of a 68-year-old male who presented with Mobitz 2 AV block and fatigue with a normal left ventricular function. The tools which will be shown here are a Solia 60 cm extendable helix lead and the Selectra 3D 55 cm curve guiding catheter. So first, the His bundle is mapped in the RAO view using unipolar sensing and with the helix of the lead retracted. Here we found the His, and what can be seen is infranodal AV block. A reference image is then taken and the guiding catheter and lead are pushed into the ventricle at about 15 to 20 millimeters from the His bundle position. Keeping the helix retracted up to this stage avoids it from snagging while it's being positioned. Pace mapping is then performed, showing here an isoelectric QRS in lead 2, a negative QRS in lead 3, and a W pattern with notching in V1. An LAO view is then adopted and the lead should be pointing upwards at between 10 to 40 degrees with respect to the horizontal plane. The funnel-shaped stylet insertion tool is then rotated to deploy the helix and to apply extra tension to the inner coil. This is to prevent the helix from retracting when the lead is going to be screwed into the septum. The lead body is then going to be rotated with the stylet fully inserted and by applying some forward pressure. Progression of the lead within the septum can be evaluated by fluoroscopy and also by continuous pacing by the stylet, which allows us to observe the gradual appearance of a terminal R wave in V1 and a gradual shortening of the V6 R wave peak time. You can appreciate here the ECG changes. Note also here the presence of fixation or template beats, which resemble the pace QRS complex. You can see here the changes at 25 mm per second sweep speed. Measurements are then performed to confirm conduction system capture. And this is what the pace QRS looks like, with a positive QRS in lead 2, isoelectric in 3, and a QR pattern in V1. When pacing is stopped, a fascicular potential is seen preceding the QRS complex by 24 milliseconds. Note also that the interval between this fascicular potential and the peak of the R wave in V6 is 64 milliseconds, which corresponds exactly to the R wave peak time in V6 during pacing. And this is an additional criterion which confirms conduction system capture. The stylet and guiding catheter are then withdrawn to expose the lead before performing the threshold tests. These were the parameters which were measured. The atrial lead is then implanted and the guiding catheter is then slit using the adjustable slitter. Note that the fascicular potential is still present, indicating that the lead hasn't moved. The lead slack is then adjusted and the lead parameters are tested one last time. And this is what the patient's ECG finally looks like. So that was it for this case, and all the best with your Lbbap implantations with stylet-driven leads.